You are standing in a kitchen that no longer exists. Maybe it was your grandmother's. Maybe it was the house you grew up in before it got sold. A song comes on, or you smell something frying in oil, and suddenly you are 8 years old again, sitting at a table that was torn out years ago. Your chest feels warm. Your chest also feels like it is being squeezed. Why does the same memory make you smile and ache at the exact same moment? For a long time, doctors thought this feeling was an illness, not a metaphor, an actual disease. In the 1600s, a Swiss physician named Johannes Hofer coined the word nostalgia to describe Swiss soldiers fighting far from home. They lost their appetites, they stopped sleeping. Some of them died. Hofer believed their brains had been damaged by longing itself. He treated it as a medical emergency, right alongside dysentery and fever. For 300 years, nostalgia was something you cured, not something you felt on purpose. That changed in the early 2000s. A psychologist named Konstantin Sedekides at the University of Southampton decided to actually test what nostalgia does to the human mind, instead of assuming it was poison. His research found something strange. People who deliberately recalled nostalgic memories reported feeling more loved, more socially connected, more like their life had meaning. The ache was real, but so was the comfort. Nostalgia wasn't a wound. It was doing something for you. So what is it actually doing? Your brain does not store memories the way a camera stores a photo. Every time you recall something, you are not opening a file. You are rebuilding it, piece by piece, using whatever emotional state you are in right now. This means a nostalgic memory is never purely factual. It is a memory that has been sanded down by time, with most of the boring or painful parts quietly filed away. The kitchen you remember is warmer than the kitchen that existed. The summer felt longer than it was. Your brain is not lying to you. It is doing something more specific. It is protecting you. Psychologist Christine Bacho, who has spent decades studying nostalgia at Lemoyne College, found that people reach for nostalgic memories most often during times of stress, loneliness, or major life transitions. Moving to a new city, starting a new job, losing someone. In those moments, your mind goes looking for evidence that you have been loved before, that you have belonged before, that good things are possible again. Nostalgia is not about missing the past. It is about borrowing strength from it. But here is where the ache comes in. You cannot go back. You know you cannot go back. The kitchen was sold. The people at that table have changed, or aged, or are gone. So the same memory that proves you were loved also proves that specific version of being loved is over. That is the mechanism. Comfort and loss are not two separate feelings fighting each other. They are one feeling with two names. Researcher Clay Routledge, who has spent his career studying meaning and mortality, found something else worth sitting with. Nostalgia spikes most in people who are confronting their own mortality, even indirectly. Not because they are afraid of dying, because nostalgia reminds them their life has already had chapters worth living. It becomes proof, in the middle of uncertainty, that your story has substance. That is why nostalgia tends to hit hardest, exactly when your future feels the most unclear. Think about what that means. The feeling you get looking at old photos is not weakness. It is your mind performing an audit, checking the evidence, confirming that connection, love, and meaning were real, even if they are not currently in front of you. There is a reason certain triggers hit harder than others. Smell reaches the amygdala and hippocampus almost instantly, skipping the slower reasoning parts of your brain entirely. That is why a specific smell can drop you into a memory before you consciously recognize what is happening. Music works almost the same way. A song from your teenage years is not just a song. It is a timestamp your brain filed away with everything else that was happening emotionally at that exact moment. Here is the part almost nobody expects. Nostalgia is not universal in the way you might assume. Some cultures treat it as healthy remembering. Others treat lingering on the past as a kind of stagnation, a refusal to move forward. But across nearly every culture studied, one pattern holds steady. Nostalgia almost always centers on people, not places, not objects. Rarely do people say they are nostalgic for a chair or a wallpaper pattern. They are nostalgic for who was sitting near them. That detail matters more than it seems. It means the ache was never really about the kitchen. It was about who filled it. So, the next time a song stops you mid-sentence, or a smell pulls you backward 20 years in half a second, you are not being sentimental. You are not being fragile. You are running a very old, very human process. Your brain is checking its own evidence file, confirming that you have been loved, that you have belonged, that your life has already mattered in ways that cannot be erased just because that moment ended. The warmth is the proof. The ache is simply the price of the proof being true. You will stand in another kitchen someday, one that does not exist yet. And one day, far from now, some smell or some song will drop someone else back into it, chest tight, throat warm, missing a version of you that used to be there. That is not sadness. That is nostalgia finishing its job.